Okay, first things first, Coach. I talked to Katie and Sam, and they both mentioned the theme kind of being a lot more on the mental side. If you can talk a little bit about how last year and the way last year panned out towards the end has kind of helped to spawn it to this year with that mentality of taking the next step.
Well, right. I think one thing with having so many young kids coming from high school and even good club programs, we need to make sure that they're prepared to play mentally at this level. It is very different. So because of that, we need to get everybody on the same page. What's important? When the chips are down, where do we focus? When things don't go right, how do we rebound? So we have been focusing a lot on the mental side, but we will be doing a lot more tactically, here in the next couple of days.
If you can, talk about your three captains and what they've done so far this early in camp to kind of help the team to mold together.
Well, they're consistent. They know how we want to play. They know what we do, what's important in this program. They respect our culture and the things that we do here very well, and I think that has translated, especially to the younger players who really respect them and the way we do things. So it's been a really good camp so far.
Obviously, the mental aspect, the physical aspect in terms of conditioning is big, but just the on-field schematics, what has been one of the biggest focuses for the team so far in camp?
Well, we just competing, finding a different level of competition, competing for set pieces, winning the ball in the air, getting stuck in a tackle, just the mental part of it, the grind, competing, everything about that. And then as we progress into these one-a-day sessions, we'll be looking more at the tactical part.
A recruiting class of 16 players. Talk about the challenge of having those many young players coming in.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of great kids, but they've got to get on board with some of the things that we do, because although what they did in high school worked there, it doesn't always work here at this level. The PSAC is a great soccer conference, so we need to get them on board. But they understand it. They want to do it. Their work rate is good, and we're really rebuilding this program with the class of 2013 and the kids coming in for 2014. The core is here. We see it added some pretty special players. We need a lot of them.
And if you think offense or defense, what's going to be the more reliable aspect for the team this year?
We're deep in both areas. I think we're going to be a bit stronger in the back this year than we were last year. I think we'll have more options up front this year than we did last year. So I think we'll hopefully see more games where we're not conceding many goals. I think you'll see more people contributing on the score sheet as well.
And one final question, Coach. Last year you had Slippery Rock finish 7th in the conference, win the tournament. It seemed like going into that final weekend of the regular season and then the postseason, what was going to happen there would determine who would make it into the NCAA tournament. How does that help you to keep the team focused game to game?
Well, and that's what we've talked about. We said, regardless of the successes we have or the failures we have early, late, mid-season, we've got to take things one game at a time. Our goal is always the same. We want to finish in the top 8. We want to make the conference tournament, and that's where anything else we get beyond that is always a bonus. Now, we've been very good the last few years, and we want to keep that, but our goals are very much the same. Top 8 finish, because as you saw with Slippery Rock last year, as you mentioned, you can finish anywhere in the top 8 and win the conference championship. So it's a good group, it's a good conference, it's going to be very competitive.